I very recently got a message in my energy that was intended for a select few, so something most people wouldn't resonate with. So it's something that's probably being more or less completely hidden from most who are contributing to the energy. I definitely felt a sense of resonance in the physical around the time it came into my energy. This energy claimed I'd be receiving an offer. It was described as being a rather strange offer that might be rather difficult or confusing for most to explain. I feel I can explain it rather easily though. I definitely feel my discernment indicates this offer coming from a Capricorn. So it's probably the Twitch streamer Jessica now causing problems in my energy yet again. She's showing up in devil energy, but she's clearly trying to hide it as if she's somehow doing me a favor, while in reality, fully knowingly, doing the complete opposite. She's fully knowingly, intentionally, almost maliciously causing chaos and confusion around if she has or still has toxic attachments she hasn't worked through, mainly codependency, third parties, possibly drugs, or just bad habits in general. So she's trying to project all that onto me, which has failed because I don't have any such toxic attachments. She's an extremely dark energy. Doesn't pray to God, is what I heard. So she's a massive liar. I wouldn't say I'm surprised at all. She plays with fire. Maybe fire magic? So she's always known she has been taking some massive gamble in how she's been trying to manipulate and exploit my energy endlessly. And that gamble won't pay off, nor do I have any desire and or willingness to ever at all sacrifice myself for her sake to allow it to pay off. She has an entity attachment she apparently feels like I can exercise out of her, which was indicated as interesting or basically really strange to even be suggested. So in reality, she's probably just acting like she thinks I can solve all her problems or something like that, but she in reality fully knows I can't. She's probably hoping I want and or need to take the same kind of massive risk spiritually that she does to have landed this energy in my energy. Well, I don't at all. It was very clearly indicated to me that she's still attached to a group of individuals, a coven, a cult, so probably offline TV and friends. She's fully, knowingly, intentionally, almost maliciously causing chaos and confusion around if she is or still is attached to offline TV and friends. So she's trying to extremely egregiously exploit her being, or at least some perception of her being, in some kind of gray area between really being a part of them and not really being a part of them. Maybe she's been hallucinating that some kind of uncertainty in that aspect would make her more enticing or appealing or arousing or something like that to me. Nope, not at all. They need saving, and Jessica's trying to make it seem like it's my job to save fucking all of offline TV and friends for all the fuck shit they're involved in. She's been intentionally, almost maliciously, trying to hide that they've been watching me, observing me, that they know who I am. She's been intentionally, almost maliciously, trying to hide from me and others if I fully know who I am or the power that I hold. and she's been lying extremely egregiously that that's somehow for my protection, while in reality, she's only really just harming me. Virgo and Libra energy can be significant, which I interpret as Jessica's probably doing some extent of destiny swapping with Kimmy and some extremely egregious divination abusing Virgo that's somehow forced themselves into some kind of massive significance in my energy that they never should have had. And Jessica's probably done it in a manner similar to how Kimmy has been trying to destiny swap with me by lumping me vaguely in the may or may not be kind of really complex, less aggressively offensive destiny swap energy. So this becomes a Capricorn indirect complex destiny swap attempt on me, where Jessica basically holds together the Libra based and Taurus based complex destiny swaps that I fundamentally attribute to Angels Kimmy and Chloe Chan Kim respectively. I was being warned that the group is going to send in an individual to test the waters. What was being described as my holy waters. But they actually tried to send in two, or whoever they thought they'd be sending in solely was for some reason so terrified of approaching my energy alone that they felt they needed backup. I think they basically thought they were gonna expose me for secretly being into men. Like I've been saying, that's never happening. I am not attracted to men. I'm only attracted to women. Jessica has been extremely egregiously misrepresenting what she's been doing, as if she's ever been at all sending physical intimacy towards me from anyone. In reality, she's fully, knowingly, intentionally, almost maliciously, been trying to thrive even more the more sexually frustrated and sexually deprived I am. I'm literally hearing there are diseases within this group. They want to manifest sharing whatever disease they have with me. They're intentionally, almost maliciously, causing chaos and confusion around if they want to give it to me or if they feel like I can heal them from it. So basically what I'm getting from this is they've been increasingly aggressively trying to use Jessica to see if they can manipulate me into believing I should accept what ultimately amounts to death magic they're trying to send to me by framing me for all their fucked shit and at best trying to drag me into their petty dramas and demonic contracts that I don't actually benefit from at all in any manner I'd actually want. I heard I may have had relations with somebody from the group. So they've been intentionally, almost maliciously, causing chaos and confusion around if I ever actually dated and or was sexually involved with anyone from their group. I definitely have not had sex or done sexual things with anyone from offline TV and friends, and I've never really found it appropriate to consider whatever kind of connection I have with Kimmy as really dating at all. It seems they're basically increasingly confused and upset that I've gotten myself romantically involved with Kimmy how I have, and yet I'm not spiritually tainted by any of them at all. In fact, I'm in very good spiritual health overall, which they're increasingly clearly starting to realize. They're trying to figure out what kind of magic I do. They're exceedingly confused. They don't really understand why I'm not sick like them. They seem to deeply believe, or at least heavily present themselves to others as if they know something about me that I supposedly don't know. Something about my DNA, that's part of my protection. They've been trying to hide that I can make my body deeply cleanse itself, something they've long recognized as a supernatural ability. Yeah, thing is, I've known that for a long time already. It's not like it happens by accident. And I had to cultivate it fully consciously as well, or it never would have actually happened or lasted, no matter what my physical genetics are. I heard something about this group thinks if they come into my energy somehow and have some kind of relation with me, that they will be healed, that I can cure them. So basically, they've been hoping they could do a bunch of extremely fucked up demonic shit, dump all their karma on me entirely unjustly in the most fucked up manner conceivable, have me literally physically murdered as a sacrifice to cover it up, and then laugh and think they got away with it all. In the energy I saw, it said, Spirit is saying no. This is their karma. So they've likely also already tried to sacrifice at least one other reader in a similar manner, and that reader's energy was also too powerful and rejected it too. I heard whatever they placed or tried to place on me, a past energy, it was never mine to have to pay off, to suffer through. So that really sounds to me like all the fuckery surrounding all the pieces of shit from my past that tried to extremely egregiously warp the reality behind my connection or lack thereof with Chloe Chan Kin, and what really happened to make things how they were between me and her, and ultimately everyone else she got involved by continually lying about things, has been also something that Offline TV and friends have been fully, knowingly, utmost maliciously trying to force me to suffer the full weight of, all on my own, forever, because of. They extremely severely underestimated my level of enlightenment and awareness of reality that would cause someone of my caliber to make sure I maintain at least enough protection to adequately defend against such an attack before even considering doing something like attending that Kimmy and Jamie meetup. The core message of the energy I saw was a warning about Offline TV and friends trying to send another hitman after me in the near future. They're extremely pervertedly framing this as an offer coming in for me, as if it's something I've ever wanted or some kind of offer they ever even really had any real reason to question if I'd actually want, while in reality they all should have fully known I would not at all ever want to accept such an offer. I'm not suicidal and I don't have a death wish. I heard it's going to be coming from somebody I've never met but who took part in this group. Sexual things, drugging, and generally degenerate as fuck shit. So it's probably some gangster or desperate drug addict or violent prostitute or something like that who's somehow connected to Offline TV and friends people. The energy seemed to have a sense of confidence that before they even make it into my energy, something is going to happen where I'd be protected. Perhaps it's being misconstrued as if I wouldn't have to do anything, but I definitely intuitively do not feel that's the case. I was being called to protect my energy, and this reading is one of multiple things I can do to achieve that. Whoever's trying to send this to me is extremely egregiously underestimating and I'd certainly argue fully, knowingly, intentionally, almost maliciously misrepresenting the true extent of balance, protection, and awareness that I truly have. They seem to have some strange obsession with thinking I tend to try to lie and deceive people in a manner I in reality do not and likely have never had any real tendency towards. There's a false sense of excessive confidence on me turning my back away from the entirety of all energies involved in this, accompanied by a sense of that actually providing me further protection, which is false. Although I most certainly can and will be distancing myself from all of offline TV and friends, along with everyone from my past, if I do not get the connection I've always wanted with Kimmy, well, it really just takes even just one email or one message from Kimmy on TikTok or Twitter or Instagram, and as long as she can convince me she's serious about committing to the kind of connection I've always wanted with her, I'm probably not going to reject her. The whole group is trying to hide that the only reason they're even attempting yet again to send a hitman after me and do all this death magic shit is because they are viewing me as a healer of ages, an old soul, a shaman, the real witch, or the real warlock. They don't really know or understand if I believe in a higher power or I'm somehow the best manipulator they can ever fathom existing. And you know what? I'll keep it that way. They're really trying to hide that they're going crazy right now. That they're frantically wondering what the fuck to do since I'm literally about to sue the fuck out of Kimmy and Jamie and ultimately probably single-handedly take down all of offline TV and friends and perhaps even multiple other groups if Kimmy does not promptly seriously reconsider and accordingly act upon a serious, decisive change in her decision to see me as a loser incel and basically just generally someone not worthy of the kind of connection I've been saying all along I've always wanted with her. Regardless of how Kimmy behaves, it seems pertinent that I make it clear my healing is not and has never been for the sake of offline TV and friends and or any other group. I'm hearing they've taken part in dark things for many decades that they will not be able to pay off in this lifetime, the next lifetime, or even 10 more lifetimes. Sounds pretty bad if you ask me. My healing has been for me and me alone. Well, and also Kimmy, if she decides to pick spending her life with me over ending up in prison or dead for effectively, irrefutably, decisively rejecting me and choosing to get sued and have criminal charges placed on her and Jamie and multiple others as a result. This group is fully, knowingly, intentionally, almost maliciously causing chaos and confusion around if I feel lonely right now. And it's because they're completely falsely trying to extremely egregiously misrepresent me as if I already know it within my soul that wherever I'm going, nobody can go with me. They're also trying to extremely egregiously mask that they're doing that out of utmost hatred towards me with absolutely unconditional, unrestrained, malicious intent towards me. And that's probably their really twisted way of thinking they're welcoming me to their group somehow. Listen, schmucks, I don't want any part of offline TV or any other group from my past if Kimmy isn't going to directly contact me in the very near future and start practically begging to be my girlfriend, an extremely committed and loyal intimate life partner. If she is willing, then me and her seriously must talk privately and take things from there. Otherwise, see you in court, if you even live long enough to make it there.